Okay, clearing. This is going to be a Divine Masculine reading for DFs to get a little bit different look at things going on than typical. So let's see, Divine Creator, what can we look at? How are the Divine Masculines feeling about the connection? Whether they know about the twin flame journey or not, what is it that we can see regarding how the Divine Masculines are viewing the whole darn thing? Okay, wow, we got the Five of Swords on the fence here. So when it comes out on the side, I think of it as a becoming energy. Five of Swords for me is free will, so it's how we look at things. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So in the upright, this is a shallow victory. It's taking the easy way out. It's maybe being a little bit of a shortcut taker. In the reverse, we're seeing full accountability for our actions. So this is telling me Divine Masculines are seeing their hand in the connection, or starting to look at how they may have sabotaged unnecessarily, how they may not have believed the love was here, how they may have treated you unfairly, how they might have said and done things that were not appropriate as far as this level of character that they are developing. I'm actually getting the sense that there is a little bit of cringe factor happening, because they're starting to see that where they thought they were justified in saying and doing things certain ways, they're now saying to themselves, maybe there is room for improvement there. Maybe I don't have to treat others that way, out of callous, guarded kind of energy. So they're seeing, because you have held your own and been so lovely, Divine Feminine, in many ways so composed, they are really understanding that you didn't react the way that others would have. The Sun also came out, and the Page of Wands. This is really showing the Divine Masculines, they have some spiritual growing to do. They aren't as enlightened as they thought, and they certainly were not as energetically minded or spiritual as they thought. As they start to see through some of this shoddy energy, they're realizing that they aren't all they thought they were. They aren't all that their worldly reputation bolstered their ego to believe they were. They thought they could do no wrong because people praised them unjustly. I just heard they were praised for their worldly success, for their fame, for their affluence, for their talents. But if they were utilizing their talents for personal gain and not for the joy of it, they were getting feedback from their world that was flimsy. It wasn't based on whether they were a good person or not. On the deepest levels, I'm hearing, more times than not, I'm hearing also, accept from you, Divine Feminine, because you saw right through anything. You saw them for who they were, and they misunderstood. It's funny, because actually it's ironic. You're the one person, Divine Feminine, that saw the real them that they didn't believe when you spoke to that portion. They believed everybody else that bolstered their worldly alignment and complimented them based on their worldly mask. When you spoke to the part that was deeper, they rejected that. That's the big lesson they're getting now. Okay, what place on the journey? Where are they at on the journey? What is the cutting edge? We literally get the card of awakening, the Judgment in the reverse, and they're still dealing with the karma. So they're literally coming to the karmic still is coming to light. The karmic energy is still not fully revealed to the masculines. I'm going to clarify this. What hasn't been seen yet? They haven't fully seen the connection between their destiny the high priestess, like trusting their intuition about what true happiness actually is. For many divine masculines, they think they're happy because they've been winning according to the world. But again, all this energy in the reverse is talking about maybe they aren't so aware of what true happiness is on this destined path. There's the star again. That was a major card in today's divine masculine reading. So divine masculines are still coming to light about what creates true happiness, and the karmic situations, people, places, things, paradigms are being seen in a new way that's questioning their happiness, I'm hearing. They are destined for a brand new beginning when they figure this out, where they can, the third party situations again, where they can see that it's apples to oranges, not apples to apples with energy. It's not an interchangeable visual aid to swap people out and have different options. There's so much more going on that will create long-term happiness. And they're just on the verge of dropping through into literally understanding that on a life-changing level. It's a little bit frustrating for those who can see the difference, who do know what authenticity is with their whole heart, who live it fully, who make those choices. That is more rare. So if you feel lonely in that, you're not broken, you're not needy, and just take heart. The world is going through a major awakening. So I love all of you that are like that. Keep going, doing your best. Divine masculines, you've got this. Okay, what do the divine masculines wish you knew? Oh, that they are trying their best. Card of kindness, the page of coins. They are really, truly trying their best, and they're figuring it out. They're figuring out duty versus kindness, and they've always been doing the best by you that they could at the time, with what they had to work with their version of reality. That was their capacity. So it was not you, it was them, divine feminines. Okay. For those who have karmic partners, this section isn't going to resonate for everyone. I'm going to pull a little bit of a karmic partner spread here and see what's going on with the divine masculines' karmic situations. So thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest for the divine masculine and any karmic partners, spouses, casual lovers, paradigms that include poly, multiple partners. What is the divine masculine's current take on other people aside from the divine feminine? What is that situation for the divine masculine polarity at this time? The karmic is represented on that side. Oh yeah, it's very, very, wow, you've got to watch the divine masculine reading. It had so much to do with reciprocity. So for many, this third party energy, it just came up again. So we just had it regarding the karmic partnership. The whole idea of removing sexual tension, being a true friend, you know, that is the theme of the Venus-Mars conjunction coming up, is that platonic eye-to-eye energy. So all these thoughts that the divine masculines are having right now are truly putting them in the hot seat for that conjunction. They're preparing it. The universe is drawing these ideas out of their soul, I'm hearing. So it's showing up regarding the karmic situation. They see the karmic situation as a mere option that's losing its luster. It's losing its pull that would divert them away from authentic connection with the feminine, with the divine feminine, is what I'm hearing. Even if it's just friendship, the divine masculines are realizing that they've been investing in weak energy. They've been investing in things that are potentially a comfort zone or a backup plan, or based in a fear of intimacy, not knowing how to go deeply, not wanting to get hurt, choosing people that are not available. So there's all this dynamic, and they're seeing how they've been coming to a higher understanding. The Three of Cups is a celebration, can be a party energy, so divine masculines might associate a false sense of partying with the karmic, non-attachment, in a just not caring very deeply. Something that doesn't demand growth is often misunderstood for attachment. True non-attachment is when we desire growth and allow room for that. Worldly descriptions of non-attachment is superficial and shallow and doesn't demand growth that causes depth. This is very important to differentiate. So I'm getting that the divine masculines are seeing that. With the Five of Swords and this information, the divine masculines do seem to be seeing. I'm going to say it again. The karmic options have been non-committal, but they thought that that was the answer and thought that they were experiencing non-attachment. Okay, so the karmic partner situation paradigm, there are these roundtable discussions where new information is being shared. I'm getting that the karmic partner or karmic individuals or topic of karma is being discussed in the divine masculine's peer group amongst themselves. The karmic partner, if there is an actual person, might be talking to friends and family right now about third parties. So in some cases, divine feminine, you have come up in the situation. In some cases, these karmic partners have other lovers, and that's being looked at. There is a deepening, there is a lessening of sexual tension as the consciousness of the planet rises and it becomes safer just to exchange energy amongst people. It's not sexualized as much. True connection is rare. And there are things that are causing people to not desire to spread their energy too thin. So the karmic is growing just like the divine counterparts. And that is causing more desire to actually talk about things on a soul level. The wands are a soul level. For divine masculine, there are things in the 3D that are becoming evident. There's this work of art here. In this card, I always think of it as the divine masculine has created a reality that they thought was perfection, but it's not a living, breathing thing. It's contrived. It is manufactured, and it's not what the divine masculine thought they were doing. That is on the side of the karmic partnership. Children may be involved, so this card always reminds me that if children are involved, the divine masculines are truly believing that they've now seen, they've been trying to do certain things like stay with a karmic spouse, for instance, or the mother of a child, father of a child, for the betterment of the children, but it's not serving anybody involved. It's not as happy-go-lucky as it seems, and the divine masculines are tapping into true friendship, appropriate ways of looking at this, or at least in this reading we're seeing that there is a new level of seeing it this way, that it's not necessarily best for the children to be in situations that look good on the surface that don't offer depth. This card of reciprocity, both are wishing to have a more equal balance, not just do things out of charity or duty or burden. This card can be breadcrumbing. They don't want to just give half-assed effort into things. And so for many, third-party situations are an indicator that these connections are not the real deal, or there wouldn't be room for the desire for others, for the leaking of energy spreading too thin. So both the karmic partner, belief structure, scenario, and the divine counterpart, masculine, have shown each other somehow that there is a depth available they haven't been accessing. And so for some, they may start looking at their connection mutually and see if there is potential to create that depth. For others, this is a moment of the novelty wearing off and getting real and desiring authentic give and take outside of the karmic situation for the first time. Let's clarify that for the divine feminines. Energetically, how are the divine feminines watching, meant to look at this karmic situation in the highest right now? Alpha Aryan Stargate, artistry, expression, community, and celebration. So have celebration. Divine masculines are leaders, and the inner workings of these dynamics are exactly the thing that will allow them to lead larger community things with influence. So whether that's just friends and family, or their town or city, or on a national or international level, this is a leadership and an artistry. Artistry implies a sense of mastery and living a higher motivation. And so it's taking it to a fine art level, taking love and dynamics to a fine art level. It's not just a casual thing. And you know, I don't care what people say. People who are very fearful might look like they would never cheat or never venture out, but they could have a motivation of insecurity and neediness and desperation and still not be a cheater, but under the surface have a rotten heart. You know, just disintegrated and low vibe. And then people who do explore can be labeled as horrible people, but they could have a pure heart that just wants to know the real thing. So that's a really interesting thing. We are not meant to judge the hearts of others. We're only meant to seek to know our own heart so that we can see the real thing when it comes to us. Okay, what next? What are the divine masculine's wishes going forward? Victory. And we got this. Okay, yeah, they want a totally victorious motion forward. They want to move this forward when their transformation is done and seen, and they can create some necessary endings in their lives with certain people, places, and things that aren't coming forward with them. The Death card and the Chariot card, both in the reverse, talk about becoming an emerging energy, but they want victory. So they're strategists on the war for the light right now, the war of light and love, the warriorship. The wounded warrior is coming back to battle, or from battle, triumphant in time here. But certain things still need to balance in the psyche, in the heart, and the transformation is underway for this victory. So that's what they wish going forward. They want victory for all involved. I'm hearing they want the karmic to elevate. They want to elevate up and out of karmic interaction, and they want to elevate this connection into being able to be celebrated in public and be known to those around them. I have to say the divine masculines have, when they've been in their high frequency, really looked at if the divine feminine would be safe coming into their karmic worlds. And it hasn't been safe. Many of the divine masculines have not been in the high frequency that they know that their divine feminine is worth. And so there has been a bit of a protection from divine masculines to not prematurely totally integrate the feminine into their worlds, because the worlds that they envision with the divine feminine, they're not living those yet. So there's been a lot of deep processing. Divine masculines are so good at holding the connections at bay because they do not want the divine feminines to fall in love with their potential, and they don't know if they can give the divine feminines what they want. That's not a constant thought on the masculines' minds, but that is something that I'm picking up here that they do care deeply about, and that's often why they default to sex that doesn't mean anything, experimentation, looking for the feminine elsewhere, because they don't want to do the work and they don't want to buckle down, or they don't know how to do the work or what the work would look like. And so it's painstaking. Divine masculines need to ask for help, need to have more communication, need to talk to more people who are figuring it out. You know, we become who we hang out with, divine masculines. For those who are watching this, if you hang out with people who don't have high standards, you're not going to get the right examples of what that would look like in a really beneficial, lighthearted, stoked way. So another cause for maybe leveling up out of situations, friendships, divine masculines that don't make you a better person, or that, you know, keep you playing small in the karmic. I'm seeing a lot of a desire to change, and that message needed to come out. It is that simple. Find new friend groups with people who are really rocking it in life. Okay. A love message from the masculine to the feminine. What can we see? We are getting, I see us getting married, and I'm going to text you. So we saw that for the divine feminine reading that I did like this. So I guess hopefully many more masculines stayed with that video than I might have first suspected. I talked about them running away when they saw that, and I was hoping that we'd get something like this just as an affirmation that they want this union to divine feminines. And again, take marriage as it resonates. That's not going to be for everyone in a traditional sense, and I personally believe that twin flames are rewriting the whole idea of marriage. Okay, let's get outside influences. What's going on in the DMs' lives right now? Yeah, they are ready for a brand new beginning. Heck yeah, we got the Fool, the Hierophant, and the King of Cups. They are tired of having more potential in love than they are able to access with the karmic situation, with their lives in general. They're following a higher knowing that they need to live their true happiness. They can't keep it bottled up any longer, and they're going to take the leap of faith to really step out on a limb and go for what would actually make them happy, which means having no regrets and being willing to make the choices that might have more long-term implications. This is eternal energy with the High Priest. This is the most depth of love, but all bottled up in the King of Cups. And this leap of faith to act on that, to go forward. Okay, let's get spirit guidance for the divine masculines. What is it we can see in closing? We are getting Guardian of Papatuanuku. Okay, 10. You are Tiaki, guardian of the divine feminine. So divine masculines are guardian of the divine feminine. Your relationship with Mother Earth is sacred, empowering, and healing. You are destined to become more spiritually intimate with her, sharing in her creative potency and wisdom. Lean into her and trust in her support, even as you serve her by courageously voicing truth. She is your great ally, friend, and healer. As you dedicate yourself to her, she dedicates herself to you. Okay, so divine masculines, as you come into alignment with valuing divine feminine energy and the energies and frequencies of the planet that ground you into a more on fire, wholesome, galactic experience of life, you will see that growth consume you in ecstasy, I just heard. Okay, in a reading, make peace and let go of past issues around being abandoned or not understood or feeling unsupported, as those experiences need no longer color your worldview. Trust that you belong here and that your connection to the Earth Goddess will support you in all ways. Divine Masculines, you are sensitive and rightly so. Never judge your sensitivity or feel you are overreacting, but allow nature to calm and soothe you so that you can be focused on accomplishing your soul mission. If you feel that you are on your own when you would like some help, allow the Divine Mother to be your friend and guide, whilst trusting that in the right moment, more allies will arrive. The Mother Earth has her own sense of timing, and you are not forgotten. You are just growing according to her wisdom and grace. Have faith in yourself and her. So those allies, those new friends that just came through in the message are coming. And that King of Cups about not feeling like you could express your emotions. You are sensitive. Never judge that sensitivity as though you're overreacting. So Divine Masculines, the love with your Divine Feminine is true. It is here. It is possible. It is the place that is safe love. So trust it. All right, Divine Feminines, that was a very tender reading for the Divine Masculines, and one that makes me feel incredibly excited about the future. Bye for now.